Hi, my name is Shreyans and I'm a senior at the Ross School of Business. In this video, I'm going to share a few tips for first year students about integrating into the American culture. Some of these tips I've taken from my own personal experience while I was a freshman at the university. So before I dive into the tips, let me give a brief background about myself. I was born and raised in Mumbai, and I've moved to the US to pursue my undergraduate in business administration. While I went to the US, it was the first time I went outside India. So I was told by my friends and relatives that I was in for a big culture shock when I would land into the US. But fortunately, for me, it was a very wonderful experience. The students at the university were very friendly, and I made really interesting friends over these years in the university. So, like I said, I'm going to mention 4 points about 4 tips about how to integrate into the American culture. I want to tell the listeners that please don't be worried about how you're going to integrate into this new culture. Don't get paranoid. Things will fall in its place. First few days will be a little challenging, but slowly and steadily, you will definitely integrate into the American culture. So, my first point is when you walk down the road and someone greets you, it's mostly out of politeness. So, let's take an example. You're walking down the street and you meet this one person who's in your class, and he asks you, "So, how are you doing?" So, right after that, the person doesn't wait for your reply, he just keeps on walking. So, it might be a little strange for people from certain countries because when someone asks you how are you, you generally expected to tell them how you're doing. But in America, people usually ask you how you're doing out of politeness. They don't really have the time to stand there and listen to how you're feeling. So don't be surprised when someone just asks you how you're doing and just keeps on walking. My second tip is when you meet your American peers in class, you'll see that they'll ask you a lot of questions about your country, your culture, where you're from, what kind of food do you get in your home country, how far is your home country, and a lot of other questions about your home country in general. So don't be overwhelmed by these kind of questions. They're genuinely interested in your culture and they would like to broaden their own knowledge and perspective about other countries of the world. My third tip is it's very common to address your professors and your superiors by their first name. So this was really difficult for me because I'm from India, and it's very uncommon to address your professor by your first name. But slowly and steadily you'll get used to it, and it'll become natural for you once you spend a few weeks in the university. And finally, my final tip is people in the US are really friendly, but they like their own personal space. So when their personal space is violated, they get really angry. So this is going to be difficult for people from certain Latin American and European countries because the concept of personal space over there is very minimal. My only tip is please don't ask some personal questions like do you have a boyfriend, or what are your political views to someone who you have just recently met, because that is most probably going to violate their personal space and it's not going to be a good experience for you. So these are my 4 tips. Just to summarize them, most of the time when someone greets you, it's out of politeness and they don't expect an answer from you. The second one was when you meet your American peers, they're going to ask you a lot of questions about your culture. So please don't be overwhelmed by those questions. Third one is you are very likely going to address your superiors by their first names. So yeah, it's going to be a little awkward for you for the first few days, but then you'll get used to it. And my last tip was American people are very much like their personal space, so please take care that you don't violate their personal space. So thank you for listening to my tips, and I hope you have a wonderful year at Ross School of Business, and good luck for your future. Thank you.